There was plenty of optimism surrounding the 2012 Toronto Blue Jays. They were fresh off of back-to-back 500 or better seasons. Manager John Farrell was looked upon as the guy who was going to be able to lead this team back to the playoffs for the first time since 1993. Jose Bautista was firmly entrenched as the face of the franchise and one of the most feared power hitters in all of baseball. And when Encarnacion, who the Blue Jays had picked up 18 months prior on waivers, had hit 23 home runs in 2011 and was now going to be inserted into the middle of that order as another power threat. But 2012 wasn't meant to be for the Toronto Blue Jays. A 73-89 record saw them fall well short of expectations. And immediately after the season was over, a controversy concerning John Farrell wanting to be on another team, the Boston Red Sox. But General Manager Alex Anthopoulos said, "Have hope. We have a plan for this franchise." We saw the first glimpse of that plan when the Blue Jays acquired Josh Johnson and Jose Reyes, along with Mark Burley and others from the Miami Marlins. And then that fateful day, December 17th, 2012, the Toronto Blue Jays acquired NL reigning Cy Young winner R.A. Dickey, along with Mike Nickias and Josh Tolley, for prospect Wilmer Becerra, John Buck, Travis d'Arnaud, and Noah Syndergaard. R.A. Dickey went on to have an average time in Toronto. He pitched over 200 innings in 3 of his 4 seasons there. He won a Gold Glove, and the Toronto Blue Jays made the playoffs twice. But now, Dickey is gone, off to the Atlanta Braves in the offseason. And every 5th day, we get to watch Noah Syndergaard crank it up to 100 miles an hour with his fastball, drop 92-mile-an-hour sliders, and wonder, what if the Toronto Blue Jays had never traded Noah Syndergaard? So let's jump in and take a look at what would have happened in a parallel universe where this trade doesn't take place. Let's take a look at the principles from the deal, starting obviously with the one that got away for the Blue Jays, and that is Noah Syndergaard. As you can see from the picture in the upper left-hand corner, here in 2022, he is now a member of the New York Yankees. He signed a 4-year, $54.4 million deal in the offseason. He's actually been gone from the Blue Jays for a little while. He played with the Blue Jays through 2018, through his age 25 season where he became a free agent. He signed a 4-year deal with Texas that he opted out of after the second season, signed a 1-year deal with Boston, and then has now signed with the Yankees, as we mentioned. Taking a look at his pitching stats, he made his major league debut in 2013 at age 20. There is a reason why he was a little delayed. We can talk about that in just a second. As you can see, in 2016, he really came into his own, going 17-9 with a 3.15 ERA, 270 strikeouts, which led the league. And then he went 18-8, 18-6 in his last 2 years in Toronto, both with pretty solid strikeout totals. And actually, both of those years, he led the league in walks per 9 with 1.7 and 1.5, respectively. Played 1 season in Texas where he went 10-6 with a 2.79 ERA at a league-leading 1.00 WHIP, 13-7 with a 3.72 ERA in his 1 season in Boston. As you'll notice, there is no 2020 on his record here, and that is because in August of 2019, he tore his flexor tendon in his elbow, which caused him to miss 15 months. He missed the last month of 2019 and all of the 2020 season. And that's kind of weird considering that after the 2020 season, after not playing all year, he opted out of his contract, which he had 2 years left on, and signed a 1-year deal with the Red Sox. We mentioned why he didn't get a start until 2013. In 2011, he suffered the same injury, a torn flexor tendon in his elbow, which caused him that time to miss 12 months. So that caused his development time in the minor leagues to be extended a little bit. Taking a look at his award history, Syndergaard is a 3-time All-Star and a 2-time Pitcher of the Month, and that is pretty much it. Now let's take a look at the player the Jays were so eager to acquire, and that is starting pitcher R.A. Dickey, who was coming off a Cy Young Award in 2011, where he went 23-5 that season. He actually moved on from the Mets after that season, pitched until his age 43 season. He made stops in Pittsburgh, Cleveland, 2 seasons with the Cubs. He went to Boston at age 41, where he went 17-8, back to the Cubs in 2017, and then finished his season with a very underwhelming 5-6 record with a 5.15 ERA in 2018 with the Tigers, and then he retired. Now, a lot of people forget that the Mets also got another piece in that deal, and that was catcher Travis d'Arnaud, who is still in the league, obviously now, with the Chicago Cubs. We're going to take a look at his stats now. In this simulation, he was actually picked up in the Rule 5 draft by the Pittsburgh Pirates after the 2011 season. So right around the time where he would have been traded to the Mets in real life, he was picked up in the Rule 5 draft by Pittsburgh. He played several seasons in the Pittsburgh organization. In 2016, was traded to the Phillies in exchange for starting pitcher Kyle Gibson. He played a few years in Philadelphia. He became a free agent, signed a 1-year deal with the Rays, became a free agent, and is now with the Cubs. As you can see, he's had a pretty average career. It actually took off quite a bit after his age 28 season in 2017. He's hit 15, 12, 15, 18, and 16 home runs in his last 5 seasons. He is now 33 years old, 105 career home runs and 385 RBIs. So he really hasn't had any impact on this simulation at all. Now, taking a look at the Blue Jays and how they made out, because that's what this is all about. How did the Blue Jays make out with keeping Noah Syndergaard? Well, compared to how they've done in real life, they've actually been a bit worse. In 2012, they lost 96 games, missed the playoffs. 2013, they lost 107 games, missed the playoffs. 2014, they lost 93 games, missed the playoffs. 2015, a season where they made the playoffs in real life. In this simulation, they went 72-90, missed the playoffs. 2016, another year where the Blue Jays made the playoffs in real life. They went 78-84 in this sim, missed the playoffs. The only time the Blue Jays did make the playoffs in Noah Syndergaard's career in Toronto was 2017, where they went 90-72, and they won an American League wild card spot. They missed the playoffs in 2018, although they were a very respectable 89-74. Syndergaard obviously gone at this point, but the Blue Jays made the playoffs yet again in 2019 and yet again in 2020 with 87-91 wins. Flipping over and taking a look at the Mets now, the other part of this deal. The Mets have had a rough time in the years since this trade would have taken place. They lost 95 games in 2012. They did have a good 13-14. They won 85 and 88 games. They were also good in 2015, where they won 89 games and made the playoffs. Since then, train wreck. 86 losses, 103 losses, 100 losses, 91 losses, and 105 losses. So there you have it, folks. Taking a look at the what ifs if Noah Syndergaard would have remained a Blue Jay. The Blue Jays actually end up worse off out of it. And I mean, compared to how people view Noah Syndergaard and how his first couple years in the league have been, I would say he has underperformed in this sim as well. An early career injury really set him back. Now he's, pushing his 30s. And, coming off a big injury, still pitching somewhat average, but definitely not the Noah Syndergaard that we've seen in real life. Anyways, guys, thank you for checking out this What If simulation using Out of the Park Baseball 18. If you want to pick up your very own copy of Out of the Park Baseball 18, you can do so at the link down in the description below. If you guys like this video, make sure you smash the thumbs up button, because we're definitely going to be making more of these in the future. Make sure you subscribe to the channel as well. And until next time, peace.